Deshaun Watson is not happy in Houston, and if you've been on social media at all in the last 48 hours, you've probably seen the Photoshop pictures of Watson in a Patriots uniform. But could it actually happen? That's what we're talking about here today. I'm Mariah, Janos, joined by Evan Lazar. Evan, we heard about Deshaun Watson being unhappy, not being a part of the selection for GM when he was told that was going to happen. The guy that he wanted not even interviewed. What's your reaction to his reaction?
Well, whenever you can upset your franchise quarterback, you just have to do it, right? And that's exactly what the Texans have decided to do here. And I think the biggest thing with Deshaun Watson is nobody is sitting here saying a 25-year-old quarterback should have the say of who's hired as a general manager or as coach or anything like that of a football team. That being said, he should have a seat at the table, and especially with a player like Watson of his caliber that is the face of your franchise and one of the best young players in the entire NFL, you want to make sure you keep that guy happy. So I was absolutely shocked that they didn't at least take his input into consideration. Especially with the head coaching hire. I think that is more disappointing to him than anything to do with Nick Caserio, is that he wants Eric Bieniemy, the Chiefs offensive coordinator, to be at least interviewed for the job of Texans head coach. Right now, the Texans have zero plans of interviewing Bieniemy as their head coach for their head coaching vacancy. And Deshaun Watson is obviously unhappy that his voice is not being heard. And I think that that is totally understandable and something that if you're the Texans and Nick Caserio, you better iron this thing out, because if you're Caserio and your first move as general manager is to trade Deshaun Watson, then you are going to have a very short leash the rest of the time there in Houston.
Seriously, especially after the season that they've had and how he played compared to what their record indicates, it's just not fair. And they really should take him and his feelings into consideration if they want to keep this quarterback who is pretty dang good. So with all that being said, what would it take to bring him here to New England? Is it even likely, or are people just having way too much fun on social media?
Way too much fun on social media, to be honest with you. I think the likelihood of Deshaun Watson getting traded anywhere is basically zero, especially to New England, because if you're Nick Caserio and you get hired away from the Patriots and then you trade a 25-year-old franchise quarterback to your old team, and that is some I saw somebody make the comparison of Derek Jeter trading Giancarlo Stanton to the Yankees when he bought the Marlins. That's what we're talking about here. That's the equivalence, right, of doing a favor for your old team like that. So that it just doesn't seem like any sort of likely outcome is meant to happen. What would it take to get Deshaun Watson in New England? I think the starting point has got to be 3 first-round picks plus a player of ascending caliber, not a veteran that's over the hill, but somebody like a JC Jackson, for example, plus those 3 first-rounders. That might be a starting point for a player like Deshaun, who is undeniably fantastic football player and really is probably, besides Patrick Mahomes, I would say the next guy that you would pick if you were drafting the league and saying, who do I want to start my team with? It's probably Mahomes #1 pick, Deshaun Watson #2 pick. So we saw what he did against the Patriots this season, the accuracy to all 3 levels. Now he can see the field and read the field at a high level. He has the athletic ability, but that's kind of become a secondary thing to his game. He has now become an elite pocket passer on top of the fact that he can move. So this is one of the best players in football. The Texans are not going to trade him. I highly doubt it. If it were to happen, like I said, I think 3 first-rounders plus JC Jackson is a good starting point.
Yeah, something certainly fun to imagine, but as you said, very unlikely. Sorry to kill everyone's buzz there for
That's
all
our
of our
job,
Patriots.
right, is to say, yeah, the door is maybe slightly ajar, but in all likelihood, it's not going to happen. I think cooler heads will prevail in Houston, and they'll be able to iron this out.
Yeah, absolutely. For all of our Patriots coverage, head to clnsmedia.com and subscribe to our YouTube channel over at Patriots Press Pass.